This whole thing is kind of birthed out of my necessity of like, how do I stay up on what's happening? Very techy, very nerdy, as obviously as you can tell by all the things. But really what this is to kind of help like give an advantage to everybody here. And so we'll kind of define terms, but really the biggest one that you probably have heard is the AEO. And curious if anybody knows what AEO is.
Or optimization, I can't remember what it is, but search AI engine
Close.
optimization, like search engine optimization, but for AI.
It's answer engine optimization because it's a zero click.
I honestly wasn't sure, and whenever I asked like chat to make a thing, I was like, I'm not sure if that's actually what AEO means. So I was like, just keep it at.
Yeah, because it's answer engine optimization, because the whole thing is that this is going to be now the old way is exactly what you were saying. Search engine here. I'm going to put a ton of keywords on my website so that when somebody searches for something actively on Google, it's going to then populate. That's where it ends up being like, this is where it is. And so we rank and we focus all of this. But now the new one is now, how do we get recommended when somebody asks Chat or Claude or Gemini or Grok or all the other ones that are popping up? Those don't have any interaction with keywords. It's only what has your holistic footprint look like to then turn into the person that they recommend. So that is your website, your Zillow, your Google, your YouTube, your Instagram, Twitter also pops up. Because what can be searchable on the internet? Since Instagram is now searchable, that's also something important, that when you write descriptions and you only use a couple of hashtags, the descriptions need to also line up to, here's what my branding voice sounds like, and here's how I'm an expert in this thing here. So that's where it turns into where it's a citation and it's the answer is just already ready. And then that's where it's going to then turn into, then it's going to come into recommending you. And you will never be able to track that because that's somebody searching on their phone, on their computer, on the browser, where they're going to type in realtor or real estate something in the chat, and chat's going to give an answer and go, oh, well, then here's the authority on this. Now here's one a good example. Somebody searching for country clubs, nothing to do with real estate. But if you keep populating, here's what the country club fees are, now some chats can go, oh, well, this site keeps having answers for to compare all of the country clubs. Well, it's going to then keep being, and it's going to be, well, let me click on this here to see what else is there. Now you have traffic to your website. And there's no way to know how it got there because it came from chat or it came from Gemini. There's no way to actually track where that goes into. And so all of your ads where it's like a click-through rate, it's not there because it didn't start anywhere outside or inside of a trackable area, like where Google Analytics can get to. It started with chat. So then this is where it starts moving into. And this is kind of the step. So the traditional SEO, get a click to your website, high keyword volume. You see some of the older websites, I know when the last time they touched it, because they have just, you scroll all the way to the bottom, and it's going to have a ton of keywords. They're just city names and all that, just county names, everything just aligned, and just a paragraph of just words in counties, in homes, and HOAs. They do that because that's how it used to work. And so it's the best realtor, and so we're just kind of advertising ourselves, and it's just this one little area in this niche area, which is good. Somebody's Googling with active intent, but now Google has AI summaries in the top of Google. You search for something specific, it's going to say, oh, well, here's the answer you're looking for in a summary version. They don't even click on the website, so you can't even follow that tracking as well. Because you could put a Google Analytics tag on your site and see who visits your website and everything. But if there's no way to track where it's going or what the traffic was, this is information pulled from your website, put into Google AI summary, and that's the answer. And they go, okay, great, I got the answer, and they leave, having never touched your website. Then we go into now the answer engine optimization, where now the goal is to become the cited one. Oh, here's the answer because of this website here. because of this presence here. And so you're looking at for that direct, the direct mentions. So this would be like an example. How do property taxes work in, you just pulled an example of Coral Gables. It could be, how do property taxes work in Royce City? How does it work in Greenville? That's now turning into, you're solving a problem for somebody, you're giving an answer, and they're going to point them to you as being the expert. Then it falls into then that generative engine optimization, where then this is now, you're shaping AI's complete narrative about you and how it's actually going to be formulating its answer. And so we're looking at just full on like user journeys, which is kind of a newer thing. Like, how did they get to where they got to get to you? Where did they start? How did it shape? And then you went into, and then it's, oh, now I have the answer, and it's your presence on the internet. And so one of the strategies is then like comprehensive neighborhood guides. Oh, for this neighborhood, here's what you need to know. For Veranda, here's what you need to know. For mine, Hidden Creek, here's what you need to know. And here's what's good, here's what's bad, here's the HOA fees. And so that may be even a strategy of, here's all the HOA fee schedules for all of the neighborhoods that I want to focus in. It can be overwhelming to like, I want to focus in these 5 cities, but then that's going to be too broad. You need to focus everything to being one city, because then if somebody types in like Royce City, in my case, I live in Royce City, putting everything Royce City, tagging Royce City, every one of my content is in Royce City, the location is always Royce City, there's a tag that says Royce City, names and everything, it's either going to be Rockwall County or Royce City. I'm putting those two together, and there's continuity throughout my entire online presence. And so this is where what you're going for is like being that trusted guide. And then that's where the GEO comes in, and that's where it kind of puts everything together. And so we go into this, all of the different, this is the whole ecosystem online. So we have like YouTube. How do we do YouTube? Do you do YouTube at all? Do you create any long form content? Because what will happen is then the AI engines will then take your YouTube, pull the transcript from the audio, and then use that audio and transcript to then be an expert for something. I created a simple video of, is Royce City, Texas a good place to live in 2026? It's 5 minutes of me just talking about Royce City with a good image on it. And I got an inquiry from somebody in Illinois. Oh, look, I'm going to be moving out to Plano, but I'm looking at Royce City instead. Never heard about it. And they commented on, is that what about, what would be your suggestion with the freeways? Was able to start working it from there. So I'm just searching Royce City, Texas, mine popped up. And and I could see the traffic was a direct search. Social media. Here's the other portion of it. How many times you can mention, even in Reddit? Reddit is a huge SEO tool. It's a huge tool because how often are you inside of there? Because that's where a lot of people go. It's the front page of the internet. That's what it's always been branded as. That's where you can go to then start seeding extra stuff in there. And then how is your online reviews looking? Is it just one platform? How many other platforms are you sending out for reviews? Is it just Zillow, or is it your Google My Business as well? Have you created a Yelp page? Do you do Bing? Is there Apple Maps? Where have you started asking for different reviews for different spots at that point? And then this is where your content can then start getting cited as well for different market reports. How's your blog? Do you have a blog? Are you in local news? Are you putting yourself out there to be maybe in some of the different editorials, so that your name can then be synonymous with being a part of like Greenville or Royce City or wherever you're trying to work at, Rockwall? Have you put your name in there so that a different source that's not your name has your name, so that AI can see that all together? So then this would be an example way of, we'll split this right in half. So the old way was just here, a bunch of text, creating a bunch of text, and then it's asking AI to read it, but it was really good for SEO purposes, for the search engine to find it. Now what it's looking for is, and this is a little bit more complicated when we get into the schema back end of how it's loading, but this is where here's a question. We have a FAQ page, a frequently asked question. What's the best time to sell a home in Phoenix? The answer is concise. It's one sentence. It's easy for AI to see it, grab it, not have to think about it, pull it over. Hey, here's the answer that I found. so that when somebody's searching for best time to sell, they're just pulling it right in. And it's giving you all of that you need instead of just long form, because most people don't read that anyways. Now, you got to have a couple of long form stuff on your site as well. So you're kind of mixing and matching. I'm going to put some long form stuff here. Then I'm also going to have some stuff on it that's going to say, here's some bullet points, here's some FAQs for it, so that it's hitting multiple ways. So the trend in all of this is that it's how's your holistic internet footprint? Not just one dimensional, not just here or there. It's how does it holistically look? And so this is for the LLMs, the learning language models, the homepage, location pages, areas that you're practicing in, and then it goes even further. And then how does it go even further? And so it'll search, the LLMs are all of the AIs. So then it'll search for, it'll go here and then it'll look for that structure flow so it can follow something. It's coordinated, it's actually like workable. And then it'll then know, oh, I'm looking for this right here that it's, let's take maritime law. That's very specific, it's hyper specific in how you're gonna go into it. So when you're going into that, it then creates this here. You can see how it all offshoots in different ways. And it may be something on your website that may have nothing to do with real estate. But you did a blog post on, like I used earlier, the country clubs. Not really having anything to do with real estate and how you can show a home. But this is how we get people in the door. Because one of the biggest things that I always say a million times is that there's two phases to being a realtor. You're in sales first, and then you're in service. If you don't sell yourself and show why people should work with you, it doesn't matter how well you can list a home or show a home. They don't trust you. This right here is how we build our digital trust to get them to even get on the phone with you. Because it doesn't matter how well you can talk to people if they don't even know you exist when they're searching for you, they're never going to find you. This is how we get that billboard, the digital billboard, when they're searching in the new way of searching of just asking Siri or asking chat or whatever it is. This is how we get them to then know you exist and you're present. So there's a ton of different ways you can then start creating this stuff. So like a competitor comparison, brokerages, that's one way to put it. Like here's a flat rate broker versus a full service broker. What do people need to know? I'm dealing with a flat rate broker right now, and I'm dealing with the seller directly because they just put it up on the internet. He's kind of like, okay, well, what do I do with the contract? And so I'm like, let me help you. And I'm on the buy side, so I'm helping him. Well, what are you losing when you go to a flat rate broker versus a full service? What are you losing when you go to just a showing service versus a buyer agent that's going to help you, give you a holistic view of the process, walk you through it, and then get a contract that makes sense for your client, that gets more done for them, your client, than it does for the other side. And your client feels like they won, and the sellers feel like, well, we got it sold, right? And so then there's different price guides. Maybe that's a different way to go. Some different, like this is like 5 tools, like a 5 tools for property management instead of like 5 fun real estate facts. You see the difference in that. There's a different turn to that. There's a professionalism to it. Here's 5 things you need to know for property management if you're going to become a landlord. Well, all of a sudden you then can turn into that landlord listing agent. Then you're helping list 10 properties. Instead of just 5 fun facts about real estate, that's just kind of, it doesn't have any value. There's no weight to it. But here's 5 actionable steps you can take when you're ready to list your home. Here's 5 things you need to be doing for you to be able to purchase a home. Those are very tangible things that can then point somebody in the direction of you as being the authority. And then it's going to look at the rest of it. Oh, well, what else did that site say? It's going to look at, okay, well, here's what else you need to know. Well, who did that come from? Oh, it came from Andy's site. Oh, so then now we know I'm going to go talk to Andy. And then that's where then that conversion hits. That's where it dives into the phone call, because your contact info is going to be easily accessible in the bottom, because that's where everybody scrolls down to find the contact info. You should have your name, your email, and your phone number. Very easy, very simple. And then there's also some free interactive tools that it's basically a very pretty spreadsheet. Down payment, interest rate, PMI, monthly payment as an estimate, just to give people a tool that they can go back to. Maybe done it tons of times with like maybe a title insurance. Those people are ranking their free title calculator up there, because then you're going to keep seeing, oh, well, if I keep going, oh, well, these guys always have the best title calculator. Well, maybe I'm going to use these as a title company. And that's the freebie you're giving. It's just preset. There's nothing really to it, but it's just that extra tool and extra opportunity to show why you're actually the authority in it. And so then all of that turns into then the machine's trust in what you have to say on your ecosystem, and why it's going to keep circling back around to you, because Chat learns, Gemini learns, Claude learns. If the client keeps clicking on the same links that are associated to you, it's going to then, okay, well, I'm just going to keep going back to this one because they keep liking it already. And eventually that 6-month search that you had no idea anybody was doing turns into, hey, I've been following you for a while. I've been following 4-H forever, and I'm ready to start looking at something. I already know about you. I already know about your agents. I know where you come from. I know your story. I know what areas you work. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Can we go see these homes? And they have been doing that for 6 months. They had no idea. What's also very important is to have this seamless, cohesive brand profile. So where you don't necessarily need to have an app all the time. Like, that's not necessarily what you need. But you can see, like, this is just kind of like this ecosystem where it comes from the website, goes into the CRM so that you have it, and then you have an IDX. The IDX feed is the MLS feed directly on your website, so that you can then send them listings from your website that maybe somebody else's, even in a different brokerage, but it keeps them in your ecosystem. That's the most important thing, is no matter where we're pulling the listings from, it's all publicly available. Quick agreement to then pull it into your website. And then you can set up a safe search for somebody so that they're not on Zillow, they're not on Realtor doing safe searches. We want them away from places where they have an opportunity to leave. We want these clients, once they already trust what you have to say, bringing them into your ecosystem and then keeping them there and showing them why you're the authority. Not only do you have all this information on your blog, not only have all these neighborhood guides, not only do you have this buyer guide that tells them here's a process, you also can then say, here's all of the different homes that I can show you. And then the call to actions on there are buttons that say, schedule a tour, reach out for more info, and it comes directly to you. And it's not even your listing. So that's where all of this ecosystem turns into. This is important, because then all of this helps with then when a client's looking, when an LLM's looking at it, it's going to know, like, okay, well, I know that the website has an IDX feed, so there's homes there, and it also has other stuff there too. And so this is where I was saying, like, 6 months, they may start looking at what's my home worth. Just taking a look at it. And then it may turn into, a couple months later, it's going to be, oh, well, now what's the calculator for a new home? If I sell it for this, because I know how much it is, I know how much my loan is probably, how much is it going to be when I purchase? And then it goes into, okay, well, now I'm looking at, like, some of these neighborhood trends and looking at what neighborhood do I really want to move into. And now we're actually at day 0 on the list date. All of this happened 6 months ago. And so how do we start getting in front of them here, as opposed to they submit a request on Zillow for, oh, I want to buy a home, but they've already gone through 5 different agents that they can't stand. And so they're already jaded to that. But if you've been the expert the whole way virtually, when they finally call you and you give an opinion, because you're the expert, they're going to start listening to that, because they've already done their research, because you've allowed them the opportunity to research you. Sometimes we don't give them the opportunity to research. What's very important in this is that we're not looking to have it replace you. This is one thing that's everybody's always scared of, is AI is going to replace, different trades or different things. It's not. It's most important to understand it's a co-pilot. It's alongside of you. It's going to help you. It's going to give you the information. It's going to give you some of the tools. It's going to give you some of the things that you need in order for it to then help amplify your business, to help amplify and get you answers quicker, get you further, faster, shortcutting some of the learning things, so you can get to where you need to get to in a quicker time frame. That's where this is coming in to help you. So it's coming in for speed. You can educate different clients on how this different stuff works. I've run an inspection report, threw it into Gemini, isolate all the items that need to be addressed. Boom. And it gives me a list. Turn it into a doc. Here's what I think, client. They go, great, looks great. Looks distilled. Now, always check it, double check everything, right? But this is the important thing is you can use it for that, but then never let AI make the final strategic decisions for you. You're still the expert. We're not just copy, paste it, send it, go. It's distilling stuff, it's creating stuff, it's organizing it in a way that you may not have thought of or in a different way. If you want AI to learn you quicker, talk to it. Don't just type into it. You have a tendency to say more things, get more context out so that it can learn your style and your tone. And you're able to then have that quicker communication as well. And it'll then start learning your style and what you're looking and trying to accomplish and do. And so this is now kind of getting into a little bit more of kind of what I was saying, where it's this brand mentions, the brand citations from the LLM outputs, like the raw count of brand name appearances. And so all of this still hasn't even gotten into, they clicked on your website until step 5. It's this holistic approach that you're making to it. And so then as far as like, here's what it looks like to like a game plan, kind of like a next step, some I guess you could say broad brushstrokes on this, is in 100 days, you can then start to fix this and change what your digital footprint is. And so you're auditing everything that you're putting out there. What am I not doing? What am I doing? And then we start making sure that the tech is then set up in a good way, that you can then have it working together. Like, what's your CRM look like? How often are you checking your CRM? Do you use your calendar to organize? Do you use appointments inside of FUB? Because then it sends a reminder text message to them, so then they can see that length of history of that they got text messages from you on that too, so that the client can remember and find you easily. And then we start to monitor based upon the stuff that you've set up. We then pay attention to see what's pushing, where should I push areas and where should I not. So, important thing, if you can remember, the tools exist, the strategies are proven, and if you're not visible in 2026, that's on you. It's all sitting there for you. What does your ecosystem look like? When somebody looks for you, are they going to find you? I have a unique challenge because there's also a really popular singer named Jordan Feliz. Turns out it's with the Z, and I'm Jordan Felix. And so people will type in Jordan Felix and they're like, did you mean Jordan Feliz? Like, no, I was looking for me. So like always like type in Jordan Felix Realtor, like, and then all of my stuff comes up. But yeah, you can't just Google my name because it'll say, oh, you typoed, you meant this really popular singer. I'm like, oh, dang it. I know. It's like, oh, so.